Good morning to all students. Today we are going to have a look on the new chapter, that is third chapter, which is PID controller and comparison between PID controller and conventional controller. So basically what is a controller? So we already know that a controller is a device that clears the difference between the actual value and the desired value of the system, that is the set point. So controllers are very fundamental part of control engineering and they are used in all complex control systems. So without controller, the stabilization and set point tracking is quite impossible. So before going to the controller in detail, there are few important uses of the controller. First one is the controller improves steady state accuracy by decreasing the steady state error. So we know that steady state error is the difference between the actual value and the desired output. Okay, and the steady state accuracy is increased or improved by using the controllers. So as this steady state accuracy improves, the stability also improves. Okay, stability means if a system is producing output which is bounded to the input, then it is called as a stable system. Unbounded systems are called as unstable. So controllers also help in reducing the unwanted offset produced by the system. Offsets are the terms which refers to the increment in the output values. Okay, if suppose the desired value or the desired response should be 1, but it's showing more than 1 or less than 1. Okay, it's oscillating between 1. So that is what offset is. It reduces the offset. Controllers reduces the offset. Also controllers can control the maximum overshoot of the system. Okay, overshoot means the point which goes upward or incrementing the reference value or the desired output. Also controllers can help in reducing the noise signals produced by the systems. Noise signals are disturbances. Controllers can help to speed up the slow response of an overdamped system. Okay, so example, I controller, integrator controller does this. So there are different varieties of controllers are codified with industrial automotive devices such as PLC and SCADA systems. Okay, so PID controllers are named after the proportional, integral and derivative control modes. Okay, so there are three different modes: proportional, integral and derivative. Okay, these three modes have their own significance. They are used in most automatic process control applications in industry. For example, set point tracking, batch process, temperature measurement, temperature control, disturbance rejection, disturbance attenuation, etc. PID controllers can be used to regulate the flow, temperature, pressure level, and many other industrial process variables. So, first of all, we are going to have a look on manual control. Then we have to go to the automatic or PID control. So without automatic controllers, all regulation tasks will have to be done manually. So for example, to keep the temperature of water which is discharged from an industrial gas fired heater constant, so operator have to watch the temperature gauge and adjust the fuel gas. Okay, adjust the fuel gas valve accordingly. Okay, you can see here, this is the figure. So this figure represents an operator doing manual control. So we have to check the water temperature. According to that, we have to input this hand valve. Okay, we have to use this. This is an actuator, by the way, in manual control. Operator is your feedback or the controller. Temperature gauge is the measuring devices. Okay, and process is the output. So operator needs to continuously monitor the temperature, and according to that, if the temperature is high, he has to make this low, and if temperature is low, he has to make this valve high. Okay, so if the temperature becomes too high for some reason, the operator has to close the gas valve a bit. Okay, so just enough to bring the temperature back to the desired value. So if the water becomes too cold, the operator has to open the gas valve. This is what manual control is all about, depending upon the operator and the actuator. Now feedback control. So the control task done by the operator is called as feedback control. This is what the feedback is. So because the operator changes the firing rate based on the feedback that he receives from the process via this temperature gauge, feedback control can be done manually, but it is commonly done automatically because continuous supervision is quite impossible nowadays. Okay, so control, we are going to see automatic control. So to make our operator much more relieved from the tedious task of manual control, we should automate the control loop. Okay, it can be done as given below here. These are the instructions. So first of all, we have to install an electronic temperature measurement devices like this temperature gauge. Then automate the gas valve by adding an actuator to it so that it can be driven electronically. So this valve actuator should be driven by an actuator, this hand valve. Okay, so actuator is nothing but it will convert your control action into the action readable by the process output. And then install a controller. So in how we can install PID controller here and connect it to electronic temperature measurement. Okay, and the automated control valve. So we have to connect the PID controller between this valve, okay, and before the input. Okay, and we have to take a feedback from this temperature gauge. The PID controller has a set point that the operator can set to the desired temperature. If suppose I want to set a temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, then I have to give a set point of 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, and this is what my desired temperature is all about. So the controller output sets the position of the control valve, and the temperature measurement, which is called as this is process variable, gives the controller its much needed feedback. And then the process variable and the controller output are commonly transmitted via 4 to 20 milliampere signals, okay, or via digital commands on a field bus. So when everything is running okay, the PID controller compares the process variable to its set point, and then it will calculate the difference between two signal, okay, which is the error signal and the output. So difference between the reference input and the output is called as the error E. So after calculating the error E, so based on the error and the PID controllers, okay, so PID controller has tuning constant. We have to tune the PID controller by Ziegler-Nicholas method and Cohen-Kuhn method. So after tuning of this PID controller, we are going to have some values of the PID gains, okay, that values we are going to use as a tuning constants. So the controller calculates an appropriate controller output that opens the control valve to the right position for keeping the temperature at the set point. Okay, so if the temperature will rise above its set point, the controller will reduce the valve position and vice versa. So this is the figure which indicates a PID controller working. So a PID controller during automatic control. So PID controller, as you can see here, it is connected between the control valve and the transmitter. So the transmitter gives the signal to this PID controller as a feedback, and this PID controller will tune itself other than automatic tuning or manual tuning. After tuning, it will acquire some gains, PID gains, okay, different values of P, I and D. So according to the values, it will check the error between the set point and the reference. You can see here the set point is 85 and the output current is 84.9. So to make it equal, to make this both equal and to make error 0, This PID will tune itself and produces the parameters, and it will give the output to the control valve. This is how the PID is going to work. But there are three different types of PID controller. Okay, so first one, in basic controller we are going to have. So there are two main types of controller: continuous controller and discontinuous controller. So in discontinuous controllers, the manipulated variable changes between discrete values or digital values. So depending upon how many different states the manipulated variable can assume, a distinction is made between two positions or three position and multi position controller. Okay, so compared to conventional continuous controller, discontinuous controllers operate very simple and also switching final controlling elements. Okay, so main feature of our conventional continuous controller is that the controlled variables, which we also called as a manipulated variable, can have any value within the controller's output range. Okay, so there are three basic modes on which the whole control action takes place. So first one mode is proportional controller, integral controller, and then derivative controller. So we use the combination of these modes to control and regulate our system such that the process variable is equal to the set point. Okay, so these three types of controller can be combined. Okay, each controller has its own advantages. So after acquiring advantages of the different distinctive controllers, we can make a combination of controllers like proportional controller plus integral controller, that is PI controller. Okay, so proportional controller has high gain. Okay, so it will make the transient response faster. Integral control will reduce the steady state error. So these both advantages can be used to acquire the PI controller. So by using the PI combination of controller, the steady state error is reduced and the stability will remain constant. Okay, after that we can combine proportional and derivative controller. So derivative controller has action like less damping, okay, more stability, but less time response, or rise time is very less. But by using both the combination of proportional and derivative controller, we can improve the stability by keeping the steady state error constant, and by using the combination of three controller, that is P, I and D, we can acquire both steady state error will be less and also the stability will be increased. Okay, so we are going to discuss these controllers in very deep manner. Okay, so this chapter is totally based on PID controllers, its tuning applications, and somewhat simulation. Okay, real-time applications. So first of all we are going to have a look on proportional controller. So this proportional controller, it will produce an output which is the proportional of the error signal. Okay, you can see here output is proportional to the, okay, so you can see here output is proportional to the error signal. Okay, this Kp is the controller gain. So there are different conditions in which the proportional controller should be implemented, otherwise it should not be implemented. So conditions like the deviation should not be large, that is there should not be a large deviation between the input and output. If the deviation between input output is large, then it's quite impossible to use the proportional controller, and the deviation should not also be sudden, it should be smooth. So now, as the name indicates, proportional controller, the output is directly proportional to the error signal, as I said. So now we will have a mathematical analysis for the proportional controller. So as we know that in proportional controller, output is directly proportional to the error signal. Okay, we can write it as here. This is A of t is your instantaneous output. It is proportional to the instantaneous error. Okay. So now, after removing the sign of proportionality, we have, so if we remove this, we can introduce a gain which is the P controller gain, that is, so output equals to this controller gain Kp multiplied by the error signal. Okay, so this Kp is the controller gain. It is recommended that the Kp should be greater than unity always. Okay, it should not be less than unity 1. If the value is greater than unity, then this proportional controller will amplify the error signal, and thus the amplified error signal can be detected easily. So advantages are, the proportional controller helps in reducing the steady state error. Okay, we know that steady state error is the difference between the input and output, okay, set points. So it reduces that and makes system more stable. Also, the slow response of the overdamped system can be made faster with the help of controller. So it improves the transient response. And we know that the transient response, the time taken, or it is the part of response from the start to the reaching the final value of the output. Okay. There are also disadvantages of proportional controller. First one is that due to presence of this controller, we get some offset in the system. Okay, also proportional controller increases the maximum overshoot of the system. So by using the proportional controller, we are going to get introduced by offsets and overshoots. Okay, so we will going to have a look on unique example for P controller. Okay, after going through the example, we can able to know about the stability and the steady state error. Okay, now you can see here this figure is a feedback control system with P controller. Okay, this is Kp. We know that this is input summing point. Okay, negative feedback. This is the plant transfunction of a plant. Okay, and this is output C of S. This is the negative feedback because we need stability. Okay, stability is high in case of negative feedback, we all know that. So characteristic equation of this denominator can be written as s cube plus 3s square plus 2s plus k. Okay, so we have to multiply it. We have to open this bracket. So if we apply Raoult-Hurwitz criteria to this equation, so the range after solving, the range of k will be from 0 to 6. Okay, so after greater than 6, the system will be unstable. I think you have learned about the Hurwitz criteria. Okay, so it indicates that if there is any change in the first column, sign change in the first column, the system tends to go in the right side of the plane, that is instability. If there are no changes in the first column, no sign changes, then the system tends towards the left side of the pole, left side of the plane. So it makes the system more stable. So after solving this equation, okay, by inculcating this equation into different powers, we can find out the range of k. You have learned this in your control system. Okay, so after finding out the value of k, so value of k lies between 0 and 6. So maximum value of k should be less than 6 and minimum should be greater than 0. Okay, if k is greater than 6, system will be unstable. Also for k equal to 0, system will be marginally stable. So root locus we can plot. We know that there are 3 poles at 0, -1, -2. Okay, 0 are 0. We can see here. I'll zoom it. So there are 3 poles, 0, -1, -2. So after finding out the position of the locus, so for that system, the root locus lies from 0 to -1, and then it will not lie between this, and it will lie after -2. So as we know the property of locating number of real loci, we know that, so considering the first pole 0 to -1, then we exclude this 0. So the number of components or the complex number of roots or zeros present is only 1, that is odd. So odd number of poles are present after this 0. That is the reason why there is a presence of locus. So now consider the time period from 0 to -2, there are 3 poles. Okay, so after this, excluding this one, last one, there are 2 poles. Okay, 2 number of loci, so number is even, so root locus is not present from -1 to -2. So after -2 pole, there are 1, 2 and 3. Okay, excluding the infinity, 3 poles, that is the odd value, and we have the root locus lying from -2 to infinity. So we know that the root locus is helpful in designing the value of k, that is the gain of the controller. Okay, so the system is stable. This system is stable for values of k such as 0.21, 5.8, but what value we should select? Okay, so now we have to choose some different values and we can see the response of that. Okay, so for today we are going to stop here, and after in tomorrow's lecture we are going to have a look on the assumption of different values of this proportional controller. Okay, we have to take this value, we have to see its stability. Okay, so till then, watch this video. If you have doubts, you can contact me, and I'll uploading this PDF in your Teams. So do watch and take care.